You think you are standing at the edge, considering, weighing, still deciding. But that position no longer exists. You already crossed this line. Not publicly, not visibly, not in a way others could point to. Internally. There was a moment when something in you shifted and did not return to where it was. No ceremony, no declaration, just a quiet relocation. You noticed it later, in hindsight, in the way certain thoughts stopped convincing you, in the way familiar reasoning lost its grip. What once explained everything now sounds thin. What once justified waiting now feels rehearsed. You didn't announce the crossing. You didn't act on it right away, but it happened. That's why going back feels impossible now. You can revisit old habits, old rooms, old roles. You can say the old sentences, you can wear the old face, but they don't hold you anymore. Something is slightly misaligned, not broken, not chaotic, displaced. You are no longer located where you keep showing up from. That's why waiting feels different now, heavier, denser. Waiting used to be neutral. Now it carries friction. Because waiting only works before the crossing. After it, waiting pushes back. You try to think your way back into a version of yourself that could still not know. You replay the logic. You revisit the doubts. You try to reopen questions that already closed. But knowing has already entered the body. And once it does, it doesn't exit politely. It doesn't argue. It doesn't negotiate. It stays. You feel it when you hesitate. Not as panic, not as fear, as pressure. A quiet resistance to pause. This is not urgency. It's consequence. Crossing the line doesn't bring clarity. It removes shelter. Excuses stop functioning. Delay becomes expensive. You can still stall. You can still circle. You can still say, not yet. But it costs more now. Because every delay contradicts what has already been integrated. That contradiction creates weight. That's where the restlessness comes from. Not desire, not ambition. Misalignment. Your inner position moved. Your outer life didn't. So silence feels charged. Stillness feels dense. Comfort stops comforting. Not because something is wrong, because something already changed. You are not unsettled because you want more. You are unsettled because you are already elsewhere and keep pretending you are not. You keep showing up from an old coordinate, and your body knows it. That's why small things irritate you now. Why certain conversations drain you faster. Why familiar environments feel flat. They are no longer wrong. They are just no longer located where you are. You crossed the line where pretending was still sustainable. That's why pretending feels heavier now. This moment doesn't come with instructions, no sequence, no protocol. There is nothing to follow, only something to recognize. You already crossed this line, and recognition doesn't require action. It only removes denial. Once denial drops, everything else rearranges on its own timeline. You are not being asked to leap. You already did. Internally. That's the part most people miss. They wait for movement before acknowledging change. But the order is reversed. The movement already happened. Externally, things may look identical. Same routines, same commitments, same labels. But the reference point is different. That's why effort feels strange now. Not harder, more pointless. You can force yourself to keep going. You can override the sensation. But override creates drag. And drag accumulates. This is the stage where people mistake wait for failure. They think something went wrong. They think they lost momentum. They think they need motivation. but nothing is missing. You are carrying the cost of staying split. One part of you already moved. The other insists on staying put. That tension is not a problem. It's information. You are no longer deciding whether to cross. You are deciding how long you will live as if you didn't. There is no punishment for delay. No external consequence. Just density. The longer the split remains, the heavier everything feels. Not dramatically, subtly. Energy leaks. Attention fragments. Time blurs. You get tired faster without doing more. That's the signal. Not pressure. Not demand. Alignment asking to be restored. You don't need certainty to move forward. Certainty left the building when you crossed the line. Now there is only congruence, or the lack of it. You can still seek clarity, but clarity won't relieve this. Only honesty will. Honesty about where you already are. This is why nothing external feels like the answer anymore. Not advice. Not reassurance. Not waiting for the right sign. The sign already passed through you, quietly, and stayed. This voice is not telling you what to do. It's not pointing forward. It's naming a fact. You are not approaching the threshold. You are on the other side of it. Everything that follows will be experienced from here. Even if you keep looking back, even if you stand still, even if you delay. There is no return to the old position. Only longer stays in the in-between, and you already know how that feels. This isn't a call to act, it's a statement of location. You crossed the line, and nothing that comes next will be lived from the old side again.